Stephen Miller is really driving this boat, you think? It's more than Trump, right?
I think another person that I pay attention closely to, which is very worrisome, is Russ Vought, who's the head of
Mm,
the budget of this OMB. And I think people often forget about him.
that's
But I
true.
think, yeah, if you take a step back and really look at what they're doing, I would say to gut healthcare
Mm,
policy and grants, there's a whole thing going on with science there that I think is flying under the radar right now that I know personally I saw him attempt during the first Trump administration when he had the power. And I always was concerned about what would happen going forward. And I think we're it's actually playing out. And I think they're very effective at, there's so much chaos every day, Tara,
yeah.
right? Like it's always like, it's the Kennedy Center and they're taking the name off, or it's the UFC.
Oh
I
God,
saw
yeah.
I have to say this. I saw some like photo or something, and I saw a social media post that said that, well, the White House now looks like a Six Flags because you can see the railings. Right?
It's
And I
so
was like, that's so
true.
true.
It's
It
so
does. It looks like,
embarrassing, isn't it? As an American, this is what the whole world
yeah,
is seeing on our birthday. Could you imagine the founding fathers? That's what I was saying to my aunt yesterday. If
yeah.
they could see into the future, like two men beating the shit out of each other on the White House
On the
lawn,
White
and
House lawn.
right, like that's how you celebrate. And then he's going to pardon 250 criminals. That's what I heard. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
that's true. Is
what we're
that?
seeing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
That's what is being reported. I mean,
yeah.
that's pretty heinous,
Isn't it?
right?
It's like, and Jimmy Kimmel's, he put it correctly. He said that's something the Joker would do, right? He would
Yeah,
pardon 250 criminals on
yeah,
our special day.
yeah. Well, hey, so yeah, getting back to Six Flags, just make it the Batman ride and call it a day. Like this is
Yeah,
what we're dealing
really.
with.
And then you see
I know. It's
those
awful.
drone shots, and there's all the rubble on one side, and the stage. It's so gross, the whole thing. And just like they're confused about America, it seems to me. But there's nobody in there now. What do you think? Because other people besides, so Russell Vought, he's a horror and a sociopath, and so we got to. And you're right, he flies under the radar. Stephen Miller does get a lot of attention, and that of some of them. Maybe that's by design. He might be the one that's taking the hits, so they can work in the background doing all these other horrible things that hurt people, right?
I think there's something to that because I think that the Trump team, like, they know what Stephen Miller is,
Right.
and they know what his wife is, and they
Oh
know
God,
exactly
yeah.
what comes with it. I think back when we were there the first time around, I used to say, like, he was in his cave and he would pop out and people would like push him back in there and he'd be like, okay, go back to your corner.
Go back to your
And, like,
cave, your
yeah,
bat
back
cave,
to your back cave. And I think now, I think
your
he
hole.
definitely has more power. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I think that he is somewhat a convenient sort of cloak for them because they already know that he's willing to take it. He doesn't care. And he
Right.
kind of like, what I saw from him directly is that I think he sort of thrives
Yeah.
on the hate that he gets at times. And so I think he wears it with a badge of honor. He knows exactly who he is. He knows the agenda that he's pushing. He's proud of it. And I think they're able to kind of say, okay, they can kind of, he is sort of the lead for it, even though
Yeah.
he's still out there on camera sometimes, or there's reporting that he's been kind of silent. I don't believe that for a second. I think that it's just more, he's a convenient narrative to have
Right.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he definitely likes to be the center of attention. I'm sure you've seen clips of him when he was younger in college saying that torture is humane, or torture is an honor. It is a celebration of life.
To the issue of the Iraqi civilians, I think that as many of them should survive as possible, because the goal of any military conflict is to kill as few people as possible. But as for Saddam Hussein and his henchmen, I think the ideal solution would be to cut off their fingers. I don't think it's necessary to kill them entirely. We're not a barbaric people. We respect life. Therefore, torture is the way to go. Because torture people can live. Torture is a celebration of life and human dignity. We need to remember that as we enter these very dark and dangerous times in the next century. And I only hope that many of my peers and people who will be leading this country will appreciate the value and respect that torture shows towards other cultures.
Just he's a provocateur, so it's something in his
Yeah, for sure.
personality.
the one thing that was always striking to me is that, like, he's not dumb. Is the worrisome thing, is that he is a pretty calculated individual. I would hear him during policy meetings, and he would come in prepped with some very eloquent arguments where I would see people around the table during cabinet meetings start to nod and kind of like,
Oh no.
okay, I can kind of see his perspective. The thing about him is that he can't really hold it together. He and Trump are very similar that way. Maybe that's why they're so close and get along. He does then go off the rails when he starts to espouse some pretty ugly, nasty things where then it's like, okay, you had everyone, and then you kind of went out, and then you can kind of see people getting uncomfortable and being like, okay, where is he going with this? I don't know what that's like in meetings now, because
Right.
from
There's
what I
nobody
can tell,
there, right? There's nobody normal there anymore.
right, and everyone's probably just not in the lawn because either they're terrified because they know exactly the administration that they're working in and signed up for, and they're just going to go along with it.